Good evening. Welcome to Insight from the Gods. You know us. I appreciate y'all if y'all was waiting. But we here now. We got the technicalities fixed. So we ready to get with it. We're gonna have a good session today, me and Lakhem. It's always a good session because a lot of times we come up with a topic and then we end up freestyling about a lot of things that really need to be addressed. So anything we touch on is gonna be relevant. If you don't see it as relevant, just still tune in and you'll eventually see why it was relevant somewhere down the line. Without further ado, it was a beautiful day today, wasn't it? I know. That's why it was so hard getting here. Traffic crazy, people excited, you know, they impatient, mad accidents, and it's like sometimes I ask myself, like, when we all celebrating that bundle of joy for whatever reason, like a sunny day compared to the last 2 days of rain, we get to appreciate the sun more and we don't realize it, and we all misunderstand it at the same time. So we all eager and rushing. So now the result of it, you see these accidents transpiring, and it's like, damn, just that bundle of frequency that fast because we've been deprived. So it's like we got to balance out here, and we got to understand and appreciate that balance from every angle. And I'm going to pass it to the God.
No doubt. Always a pleasure to broadcast to our people, to the world, spread our message. I think the most powerful thing or question the person can ask is, what's your life's purpose? Before I proceed, though, and going any further into building on your life's purpose and finding your true essence of who you are, I want to take this moment to celebrate Brother Knowledge, first published writing. It's definitely a work of art, and to be a witness to his genius is always inspiring. And I suggest that you find people who can inspire you and tighten your circle up and be amongst those who give you inspiration to do great things. But the brother just dropped this ebook. It's called Finding Your Why, a journey from pawns to purpose. And I think that in the process of him writing this book, you know, it gave us the idea, like, yo, let's build on that. Let's unpack it for the people. Let's talk about life's purpose and the journey that we all go through, and how some of us, no matter what journey we go through, we still don't know our life's purpose. And we don't sit before you as two people with all the answers, but we do sit before you as two people who will spark the conversation that will lead you to the road to these answers. Your life's purpose is what you're here to do, what you have a strong conviction about, your belief system, and what empowers you to move out with the intention of carrying out a deliberate course of action. And I think that people who are inspired to do things are shaped by conditions that give them a purpose. And sometimes we don't know the purpose first. Sometimes the condition or time dictate the agenda or what we have to live up to or measure up to. Surely if the world was different, a lot of our purpose would be different. Surely if the world was structured different, if everything was peace, if everything was harmonious and there was no imbalances, no cruelty in the world, a lot of us would have a different purpose. But all of us are shaped and molded by the conditions in which we grow in. A lot of us come up under harsh conditions. A lot of us come up poor. We come up through these ghettos. And we can bear witness that some of the most profound characteristics have been shaped and molded by pain, by tragedy, by struggle. And we want to present that to the people, like, what is your purpose in general? Like, and when do you know that you have found it? And when you have found it, what gives you the active ability to continue to carry it out, to live it out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what made Malcolm step up the way he stepped up? Why was his convictions so strong? You know what I'm saying? And not just him, but every other leader. Look at Gandhi. Look at Martin Luther King and all of these other people who had these ideas, but the idea to become something is not what they set out to do. We can even look at the life of Jesus, if you will. You know what I'm saying? If you critique his life the way you should, when they was coming for Jesus, Jesus was getting out of there. A a lot of people forget that Jesus fled to Egypt when they was trying to pursue him. We call him the sacrifice, like he wanted to die for us, but Jesus was getting low every time his enemies was coming for him. It came a point when he was like, okay, I'm ready to give up the body. But if you do the knowledge, he wasn't doing that off the muscle. Yo was getting low like midgets and Volvos. Yo was like, nah, I ain't ready to die yet. You know what I'm saying? And so he ran down to Egypt. He hid from his enemies. He concealed himself. But certain circumstances and conditions produced in him something that made him say, you know what? This is what my life purpose is, and let me carry this purpose out. And so the question that you can have at a dinner discussion, at a family discussion with your children, you know what I'm saying? What is your life purpose? Discover that, find that out, and walk in it and be it. And we're going to lay down a few roadmaps for you, a mental conversation. We'll unpack the idea of what it is or what it is not.
Indeed, no doubt, man. That's so heavy. Finding your why. Finding your why. What inspired me to kind of write it, right, is because I was like, I've been through so many situations where I'm always questioning everything, like my existence. Is there a God? You know, it make you go to the root of a lot of questions that people are afraid to talk about. So, in my journey, when I first went to prison, that's when I think I really found I had to dig deep because I ain't had no choice. My back was against the wall. I was 20 years old with a 75-year sentence in a maximum security prison. I ain't never been to training school. I ain't never been to nowhere. Never been none of that, right? I've been arrested, but I ain't never did no time. So that was like a tragedy to me in my neighborhood. So it's like when I went in, it was like that was really a life sentence. The judge said, yo, you ain't never getting out. If you do, you ain't gonna be old enough to, you know, capacity to do nothing. So when you're in them kind of situations and it's that type of darkness in your reality, it kind of force you to have to really question everything. And it made me like, yo, ask God, like, yo, why you put me in this situation? Yo, why this, why that? And then that's what make you dig deep. And I remember in the book of Job, Job went through all these trials and tribulations and he was struggling. It was like he got the worst of the worst. And nothing really changed for Job until he had enough courage to say, damn, yo, hold up. Why me?
Right.
Until he asked that opposing question, the pain and the suffering will continue because the universe try to put you in a situation to push you to evolve. And when you resist the evolving or you receive the evolving as pain, like as the accept your suffering. It's one thing to accept your suffering to grow from it, but it's another thing to let your suffering overwhelm you. So when it was going back to times of like I was thinking one time like of the Passion of the Christ, right? And it was like the mission almost of the movie was almost like in the flesh it's okay to suffer because we shouldn't be attached to worldly things. So since you shouldn't be attached to worldly things, we shouldn't gravitate to nothing that's gonna make us suffer or else this is the consequence. And just so happened that if our soul happened to get caught up in a dogma before we know who we are as individuals, then this is when we lose our purpose. We lose our purpose because we serve a higher agenda beyond what we were created for. So the Y chromosome, which represents the man, the genome, is the man gene. This chromosome is what separates us from the species of the woman because it's a defective X chromosome. So in the back of this book, it's a chapter that helps the man understand how to chart his course because the Y is like a fork in the road. And that fork in the road is almost what we go through as black men, most of us. And we don't know because it's like the rewards seem like we get the better reward with criminal activity versus the good way. But that's the like patient way, the slow way with guaranteed results. But it's like if you go on the other string of the Y, then it's like that's the gambling side. And it's like, do we have room to lose to gamble with? And most of us really don't. So the book really help you understand how to navigate when you get to that fork in the road, how to make the choice. Because we always get there and we say, well, how do I know which way to go until I go there? Well, this will help you understand it before you get to it.
Right, no doubt.
Just a little bit. Yeah, don't stir it.
I think that the science of life in our lessons, we're taught that why is a question that is most asked by the 85%. And it's also asked by those who are seeking more knowledge. So I don't believe in coincidence or accident. So when the brother started busting down the why degree, it made perfect sense, because that is the question that you must ask before you even embark on the journey. Why? When you look at the structure of any kind of writing or any dissertation that comes from inside somebody, you have to ask yourself what was taking place within his heart and in his mind when he put the book together. Why did he even come up with this idea in the first place? Obviously, it was his life's purpose and where he's at in his growth and development that made him even want to share this with the world. If he found his life purpose by questioning the why and understanding what that means in his everyday life, then it's sort of like, damn, this is how I give back. This is my gift to the world. And in receiving this gift is also an instructional manual, because if I walk through the fire, you shouldn't have to.
That's right.
If Brother Knowledge been in prison and he had all this time to think, you should take the shortcut and not have to go to prison because he did it. So all you got to do is listen to him, and he's going to share his journey with you. And it's the same with me. If I did 31 years in prison, why should you go to prison to learn life lessons that I have learned?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, what is your purpose? What are the mitigating circumstances that cultivated you into the person that you are? What are the mitigating circumstances that cultivated you into the person you are not? Because in order to understand your life purpose, you got to question, what am I doing? Where am I at this point and juncture in my life right now? And is it in me? Because it's in others to find their life purpose. Then how do I find that? Where's that roadmap at? Where's that journey that leads to that lost treasure or that divine spark that everybody aligns themselves with? When we look at Nelson Mandela, when we look at Malcolm's transformation started when he was in prison. And so I always ask people, why is it that pain becomes the catalyst for our growth and development every time? It's like you can tell a person, don't do this. You can preach to them, you can teach to them, but they still fall victim to the same thing. And then you look at it like, damn, your mother was a crackhead. No offense to anybody, mother, who really was a crackhead. That's not a joke. Your father was a dope fiend. Why would you walk that same path? You have other examples of people who were successful. You could choose to walk that path. What power does choice have in my understanding my life's purpose? What power does intention have? And what is it about life itself that makes us come to the conclusion like, damn, this is my life's purpose? You'll meet a lot of different people on this plane of existence. Some people are entertainers, some people are criminals, some people are actors. And a lot of them, whatever they are engaged in, they think at that very moment, this is their life purpose. If you ask a person that's been successful at robbing banks, he'd think that's his life purpose, because he ain't never been caught. He's been enjoying the fruits of his labor. But as soon as something goes wrong, that's when we begin to question, damn, maybe this is not my life purpose. You know what I'm saying? And since we all are connected by every other living thing and every other living being, when we get into the essence of who we are and we look at this defected Y chromosome, understanding that the Y is broken off, it is a stem broken off from the Y that is found in the X. This is why you're formed complete in the womb of your mother. Mathematically, those 9 months give you your arm, leg, arm, and your supreme head, and this is what borns you. But men don't have that extra stem, they have the Y. And I know through male chauvinistic religions and through the patriarchal system, the matriarchal system has been done away with. And this is why a lot of us can't find our life purpose, because we're not in tune with who we actually are. And for those who don't understand how to balance that, they fall victim to either over-feminizing themselves or over-masculinizing themselves instead of finding that balance and walking down the middle path and being successful at what they need to do. And a lot of times, just because you are successful, that doesn't mean you found your life purpose. That means you know how to gratify yourself on a physical level.
That's right.
And a lot of people, they equate success or life purpose with money, with being able to have a bunch of material amenities that satisfy you only on a materialistic level. But on the inside, you're still an empty vessel. You're still an empty shell. You ever talk to somebody in a conversation and their response is nothing? When you add all the shit up that they try to give you back, it never equate to anything. That is a person who has not found their purpose. They can't even articulate or express themselves with substance. It's always some buffoonery, some clowning, some joking, and this is a defense mechanism to hide the fact that they don't know where they are on the road to life. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we tell jokes to hide behind our inadequacies. Sometimes people hide behind their money and their opulence because there's nothing to them if you strip all of that shit away. I remember when we was in prison, we was in Jessup Cut, and they came through and they took all of our street clothes. They took everything. Like, they put all of us in the same outfits, blue and grays, state jeans, state everything. And the first thing I said was, since they took all of our street clothes, how many people identity was attached to the labels that they were wearing? And when they stripped them, the same cocky, arrogant dude became so humble because he had on a bunch of cheap shit, not knowing that the real value and purpose was who he was, not what he had on. And so that will reveal to you, that was the lesson in Job's life. If I take all this shit away from you, if you lose everything, if you lose everything you got, would you still consider yourself a valuable being? And would you still consider your life having a purpose if everything that made you comfortable was removed? And this is why a lot of times when you talk to people, I'll be like, don't go to jail because I know you can't handle it. I can look right in your eyes and be like, oh no, it'll break you. Half of the people we are around can't handle society. And society, any day in prison, is 20 times worse than out here. It's 20 times worse. So how do you find your purpose or even your true identity of knowing who you are? You got to even strip your name away, the label that they gave you at birth, because that was just something to identify you. A lot of us wasn't even studied. Our personality wasn't overanalyzed before they named us. They just gave us a name. You know what I'm saying? And so when people ask you, who are you? You tell them your name. As if your name defines your life purpose and who you are. You know what I'm saying? And so the starting point is when a person asks me, who am I or what am I always say I'm infinite possibility. The possibility for me to manifest any type of infinite idea lies dormant or latent in me. And it's up to me to find my life's purpose because that is how that is shown in the world.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And with that, I'm going to let the God build.
Yeah, that was heavy, Lord, man. That's powerful because it's like we get so compartmentalized. We're all different individuals. But if we had a different perspective and understood that we're all connected, we're all interconnected one way or another. So it's like the actions that we portray on one another, whether good or bad, is still emitting a frequency to that person. So it's either going to add to the frequency that they already have, either good or bad, or it's going to take from it. So it's like a wave, it's like a ripple effect. I tag you, I pass you some good energy. If you're having a bad day, that might lift you up a little bit to get you to the next person and pass them some, right? So it's like perspective is everything. So it's almost like if we understood that we're all connected. If you're sad, I'm responsible for helping you not be sad. We all are collectively. It's like if we learn to look at things like that's our duty and that's our responsibility, then we would solve the world's our problems anyway. Like half the battle. Because it costs nothing and it's a frequency. But we get so attached to the physical body and like the external things and we try to find value through things. not realizing that the things that we're chasing, we're looking for the feeling that come from acquiring them things. But we can cut that out and get straight to the feeling. We don't have to get the things. We think we gotta get the things, and that's why like finding your why help you understand how to create that internal value to make you want to do that. Not because you obligated to or you have to, but just because that's your service to humanity. As just a human being, a good human being. And I always think about like, if you ever want to know how to conduct yourself or how to find your frequency or your why, think about after you pass form, what would you want somebody to say about you? And be all those things. You know, it's like you sit back and really think about it and say, damn, people might get up there and say, and you might got people that might dispute it or disagree. You in charge of the picture they see.
Right.
So while we got a chance to rewrite the script, rewrite the script. We look for validation from everything that don't support what we showing. Right. It's like, don't look at what I'm showing you, believe what I tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, we got to get away from that and then start with self-accountability. Yo, I need to do better. I need to fix my karma. I got to do some good shit. I got to do a little bit more. I got to be a better person. We got to be able to tell ourselves that shit. But we got to get to a point where we can handle that. And that takes responsibility. Because you got to first admit that you're fucking up.
Yeah.
And nobody
be
want
a
to
better
admit
person.
that. Yeah, you got to say, yo, I got room to be a better person. But if we already think we're being better people already in our fucked up way stinking thinking, then we're not going to change nothing. We're going to keep doing shit, keep passing bad energy after bad energy, thinking we're protecting good energy.
Makes sense.
You know, it's like you can't fight fire with fire, and we do that sometimes. We get in our emotions, get heated, and we'll just fire back.
Right.
And that gives some kind of release, some endorphins or some dopamine or something from, I don't know why it's a release. You know what I mean? But it's like, if we can rechannel that energy and do it and celebrate that same frequency by supporting each other.
Originally.
And helping each other. And it's like we do everything backwards now. For some reason, like when we supposed to be supporting, we quiet. And the shit that we quiet about is the shit we should be celebrating. Right. You know, it's like, why is we doing everything backwards? I even think about, like, I hate to talk about slavery and racism, but I even think about, like, when I think back to, like, history and when I used to read history and I used to think about how the old white people used to be and the old slave masters used to be, they was them old grumpy motherfuckers that was, hey, get out of there. You know, that was their thing. That was how they used to conduct. They was angry, you know, towards the slaves and towards the inferiors in their eyesight, right? And it's like, and we were humble. Our old people, our elders that had the land, we was chilling. They was pops and them, they was laid back dropping jewels. You know what I mean? Teaching the family.
Right.
They didn't really stress much. They protected their little shit they had and they stayed kept it like that. So it's like now it's almost flipped. It's like now we became the angry motherfucker now. Everything piss us off. It's like everything offends us. Like black people offended by everything. You know, and it's like, yo, how can we go around and really focus on finding our why? Because we too distracted by all the noise. And bad enough, we gotta take on the ordinary noise. Then we're gonna put extra noise in our way. How we gonna hear and find our own why? You know, so it's like you gotta ask yourself that question. You know, it's like if you know how, if you know why, you'll always know how. So if you know why you're doing something, you'll always know how. You'll never forget because you got a purpose connect to it. You want to know why. But if you don't want to know why, and somebody show you something, you'll forget it. That's why people used to cheat on tests in school because they didn't want to know it. They just wanted to pass the test.
Right.
So they can get the test and they might know the work. But with test time, they can't think of that shit because it's not on their mind. So they cheat and just to get through skip through. But it's like, and that's just like life. It's like, yo, we got to do the work and we got to make sure that we punish ourselves when we don't, so that we can continue to do the work. Because if we think we already doing fine and they ain't got no room for improvement, then we'll never know why. We'll always be serving somebody else why.
It was a comment I was about to read, but I think you kind of like answered back
to
it. I hooked up my state outfits. I don't know about you.
Oh, the state outfits?
Their state outfits was hooked up.
Oh, yeah. If you had swag, it naturally got hooked up.
So Lump said he hooked up his state outfits. He don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. So when you had style, you ain't have to hook them up.
Yeah.
You know, you was the hookup. You made the clothes look good.
Yeah,
you know
that's why I was saying, like,
it's almost
nothing
to it.
crazy
you know
to read it, but.
Yeah, that was the time though. You know, they took them clothes, man. It really showed people who they really was. You know, self-esteem went out the window. The cockiness, the arrogance went out the window. The dudes used to always be in the girl's face. Now they you don't see them no more. You know what I mean? They ain't got no haircut. They don't feel right. You know what I mean? I went on I got poked in the eye one time playing basketball, and my eye was like this big, and people was messed up because I went on a visit like that. I'm like, I'm going on my visit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shit, that's what I'm saying.
They could possibly take visits away starting next
but
week.
You know,
right.
some people that's not comfortable who they are inside, I'd be too worried about how other people's what they gonna think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't care what they think. I know who I am and I know what happened. You know, and if you don't, that's on you. I'm getting this visit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But that's just like some of the components of when you know your why and you know who you are. You can stand in the fire if you know that it ain't gonna burn you. Fuck what they say. If you felt that it ain't burning you, they can't handle it. I might can. You know, so it's like to each his own, but you gotta find your own why.
Right.
And it's a beautiful feeling because there's a peace and there's freedom that come with it. You know what I mean? Because you almost like understand the communication with the universe. You understand all frequencies. Animals comfortable around you. You know what I mean? You can pick up people energy by the way nature respond to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's real. So it's like, yo, we gotta get our aura check. You know, we gotta get the frequency up. Find your why, no doubt.
Yeah.
Why you exist.
That's definitely peace. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, okay, how can anybody even attack you if you really know your life purpose? If your intent is strong enough on your purpose, no definition that anybody have of you, no label, no bad bone that they put out on you can even stick to you because your life purpose defies all that shit, and your self-confidence overrides it because you know your life purpose. It's like no matter what is done to you, you know you got one life, you want to protect it. But at the same time, it's like the God was saying, like, yo, whatever fire anybody throw at you, like I don't fight fire with fire. I never did. I've always been tactful. I've always been a strategist. Like I've done impulsive shit, you know what I'm saying, in my upbringing. But once you understand your life purpose, is more so, no, I'm gonna move like this. Water put out fires, not more fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've never seen somebody throw fire at fire and hope that it put it out.
Right.
They can create a backfire and try to control it. You know what I'm saying? But no, you need that water. So what does that say? What am I saying in real life time? Right. I'm saying you got to be the cool one. Right. You got to be the one that know how to dampen the spirit of haughtiness, of arrogance, of temper raging. That's the fire. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times what people don't understand is that you can't even have life without water. You know what I'm saying? You need that water. All things in existence got that water. And that water is important because it cleanses you. The fire can purify, but that water cleanses you. What's going on with that? This shit. Why does it keep doing it? It's like it
Now y'all whole take something distracted us.
Oh, yeah.
I was just telling everybody that's watching.
Right, my bad. Yeah.
Why y'all had it, Tracy
on
YouTube said, be
stuff?
nice, brother knowledge.
Huh?
Tracy Heisen on YouTube said, be nice, brother.
Absolutely, I am. I promise. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty, but that's what happened. You know, it happens sometimes. There's a reason for that too. We just gotta find out why. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how you gotta approach life. As long as you approach life that way, then you ain't gonna be in the victim mode. You know, it's like we can't cry victim when we got all these tools. It's like you saying that you're incapable, really, indirectly. So be careful about what you attach yourself to and what you accept for yourself. It's like, yo, I think I'm great, so I'm gonna aspire to do great things. And why would you have people that tell you you're not around you and in your circle? You know, they should be aspiring you to be great as well. Yeah, so finding your why. Look, let me show it to y'all, just so y'all can see it. Man got it printed out. Nice ebook. He got his printed out, y'all. Gotta get your copy.
No doubt.
Once you finish reading it, man, you definitely gonna get your you're gonna come out with a lot of stuff in it. There's some good exercises in there that you can do to just tap into your inner self to find out who you really are. You know, because it's like the world is changing fast. And nobody is like, there's no more time for pity parties no more. So we gotta be a little bit more responsible, a little bit more accountable. We got so much stuff now that's transforming the world, and it's like we're the ones that's gonna be getting left behind if we don't hurry up and catch the fuck on and love each other. And it's sad to say is that when I can last remember, we were the tightest as a people during the civil rights movement when we were segregated. When we were segregated, that's when we were the tightest. And as soon as integration came, that changed. And it's like the only thing that's going to make us back integrated, well, segregated to that degree where we come together, because that was forced segregation. So it's like, it's almost to the point that we done been through all the way around the wheel. And it's almost to the point where we getting right back to that same situation where that's the only thing that's going to bring us together as a people and make us come together. Is a situation that's great start happening. I'm telling you.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely, because stuff getting really crazy right now. And we better get together because everybody else is together. And we the only ones ain't together, and the whole world see we ain't together.
Facts.
You know, so it's like we the only ones that's not trying to recognize each other's shit. So we gotta start holding each other accountable and point out their shit. Stop giving them a pass for their bullshit. Call that shit the fuck out. Because that bullshit is what's keeping us set back. We not being real with each other. We sponsoring bullshit. It's like, yo, we gotta get to the meat of the shit, separate your feelings and your ego away from the situation. And we gotta look at stuff logically about what's the betterment for us as a culture, as a people moving forward, as a whole. You gotta separate your emotions from this shit. You gotta understand, yo, what can I grab? All these resources out here, how can I shape this to make us prosper as a people? How can we build something? Because we gotta start owning some shit. We don't own no land, we don't own nothing. If the world was to shut down on us as a people and say, okay, don't sell to black people, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. What we gonna do? We gonna turn on each other, or we gonna come together.
Right.
You know, it's like, damn, we're creating an enemy. We're slowly agitating a situation, and that's what I hate for our people. You know, and social media is like a gift and a curse, because some stuff can get misconstrued and spread like wildfire, and it's like we're the ones that's going to be least prepared for anything. And that's the scariest part, because we don't want to see it. It's like an ostrich, right? Ostrich got that long neck and he stick his head in the sand, right? But when he stick his head in the sand, it's dark in there. So by being dark in there, he think, since he can't see nothing, he think can't nothing else see him.
His whole body's standing outside.
His whole body's still out. And that's how a lot of our people be. We sticking our head in the sand to what's really going on and hoping the problem go away. But the whole world, our asses to the whole world.
Right.
Nobody respect us. Our value as a people have decimated. And it's like we're watching it decimate. And now we're trying to cry about it now. Nobody care about our tears no more, because we cry about everything. So the serious issues get ignored. And that's when it's like, when the cry don't get answered, what do you do? Right. So this is why it's so important to understand who you are, the value of you, and connect that with the value of you. And let's put this value of us together so that we can push each other and support each other, because don't nobody really like us. That's the truth of the matter. And we barely like us. When we get some money, where we move at? We move away from black people. Around every other culture, people other than would look like us. And ain't nothing wrong with it, only because you feel like you're safer for some reason. And then you got some people that act like, well, I don't. You know, of course you got the exception. We ain't talking about the exception, but we talking about the majority. And we got to
overwhelming majority.
Yeah, you know, so it's like we got to make our mind up. We want to be segregated or integrated. Which one? We scream Black Lives Matter and all this over here on one note, and then we crying that they leaving us out and they discriminating against us. Well, you discriminate against yourself because you separated yourself with them titles. You know what I mean? If we learn how to release that, you know, just like Morgan Freeman said and I said, the only way to kill racism is to stop fucking talking about it. The more you talk about it, the more you keep it alive. The more you complain that that's racism, the more we see it. Everything gonna look like it. You can be at the fucking light, and you can be turning and making a turn, and somebody can honk the horn, and you look up and see it's a white person, you gonna call him a white motherfucker, a racist, like it comes out naturally. That's a problem, because we so agitated so easily by the smallest thing when it comes to that, and it's emotional. And that shit really affects us bad, because all our choices starting to become emotional. Right. Because we don't have no foundational root to grab the real truth from. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, we gotta separate them emotions, yo. It's like the women, of course, is understandable. Y'all emotional creatures, but the dudes, man, some of these dudes that's got girlfriends, they done took on emotions of their girl. You know what I mean? Like unconsciously, you know. So that's why it's so important to have knowledge yourself and know who you are, man, and find your center self.
Facts. It's a verse in the Bible that says a living dog is better than a dead lion. And I think a lot of times that's what we have become. We think that because we are alive and functional, that we have the grace of a lion, but really we're just a living dog. We're still better than a dead lion. As honorable and courageous as the lion is, he has lost his life. And that is us in our past state. We always reflect on our past greatness or what we done yesterday when we was living in that lion state. Now we're living in a state of a God spelled backwards, functioning like dogs. And so because of that, we don't even value our own life. And I can prove it in an automatic second. Look around you, all the death that's happening by our own hand. It has blinded us to our life's purpose because blacks are still getting hung on college campuses. Black women are still being abducted, chopped up, murdered, and there's not a cry from no so-called real man.
Right.
So a living dog supposed to be better than a dead lion. You ain't even doing your part as a living dog, and I ain't calling you a dog. But that is something that people have put on us, especially our women. But let's look at it. If you don't know your value, you would never honor your true purpose. And so the Bible also says, where your treasure is, so shall your heart be also. So if a treasure is something that has value, so if you thought you had value, that you was the real treasure, your heart would be involved in everything that you do. How could a black woman, how could a black man be hung, jawbone removed, all kinds of atrocities taking place with us and against us today? We don't say nothing about it. But you on a block talking about you going to ride for your dead homie who was shot down by another black man. You're only aggressive when it comes to your own people. You've never seen a chicken fight another animal. The only thing I've ever seen a chicken fight is another chicken. You don't see no chicken going after no hawks.
You are what you eat.
No doubt. And so what happens is we're preying on each other. Lost our courage. People get knocked off. You won't even say nothing about it. Then you have these organizations that's putting on this show because they have lost their purpose or probably never knew it. You're doing all this military training. I ain't hear no organization go on them college campuses and make a bold inquiry about what really happened. We complain about being victims of racism, then go to the same system for help.
Right.
Help me out with that.
Absolutely.
Help. Where's the vanguard at?
Right.
Where's the black leadership for real? You know what I'm saying? Where are the warrior queens? You know what I'm saying? Where are the guards in physical form? You mean to tell me, since you want to play the racist card every chance you get, okay, then why are you relying on the government to help you if you recognize the government have been trying to get rid of your black ass since you've been in existence?
We expect them to help you.
Right. You making pleas and marches and asking them to give you jobs and all of these opportunities like it would serve their best interest to help you. It would never serve their best interest to help you since everybody has had a chance to benefit off of your talent except you. You don't even know your own value and how you can benefit off of your own talent. And so even with all these millionaires, if they really knew their life purpose, they would produce a roll of toilet paper. They would produce something that is a necessity. They would have something, vaccination clinics. You get what I'm saying? They would have them same free breakfast programs that the Black Panthers started, that the U.S. government copied off of. Y'all didn't know that free lunch in school and free breakfast in school started because they imitated the Black Panther Party. They originated that.
That's right.
Because they understood their purpose.
That's right.
And so what did the government do? Oh, bright idea. And they came in with it. And so because we lost that spark, because we don't know our purpose, all these ills that we suffer from, you can find a good purpose. We suffer from so much shit. All your energy got to do and your frequency got to do is fall right in line with what we need. Damn. Sound easy. But your heart got to be in it. Where your treasure is, so shall thy heart be also. So if you don't see no value in it, your heart going to be somewhere else, doing nothing else. And this is why you can put any kind of substance in you and not even know what's in it for real. Man, what? E-pill? Give me one of them. You don't even know what's in it. And you'll say, I ain't never used dope in my life. Yes, you have. Because inside that E-pill, a little bit of everything. Little bit of everything in it. And so this is what happens when you don't know your true value. You don't know your true focus. You don't have none. And so what we trying to do is recalibrate your thinking. Give you that magnifying glass so you can focus your intention and kind of burn a hole into the path where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? I think that we have the tendency to overly complain, and everywhere you go it's a complaint happening, but you ain't doing nothing about it. So Malcolm said, anything I have felt strongly about, I have done something about. That's powerful. Because we'll have people that come amongst us and they'll talk real strong about shit and won't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
They won't do nothing about it. In the lip service, those games are over with. You know what I'm saying? I'm still upset about what happened to the system. I'm still upset about what happened to the brother. What these calling them, sundown towns?
Yeah, down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Al Sharpton them at.
Right.
Where them dudes at? It's like these Jamal Bryant, he got so much to say why he ain't down there about making that public news. Like, we don't want to call out. See, one thing I learned about our people, right?
People gonna see him when he do it.
Yeah, a lot of one thing I noticed about our people is that we too interested. It's like if we like you, we'll support whatever you do.
Right.
You can be dead wrong just because we like you. We'll make it right. That's how you confuse your own damn self, because you'll start adopting wrong shit and calling it right because you're used to seeing it. Then you start to gravitate around people that think that same way. That becomes the norm for you. So then when a real person come out, they look like they're faking. No, they're the real people. They fake themselves out in the process. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, like that stuff is like real. It's like, yo, you can't be a fraud right now. Like, yo, this is not the time to be deceiving nobody. Everybody should be getting exposed.
Yeah.
Like if you faking and then it should be exposed. We keep covering up the wrong stuff. Like we gotta go for the people that's helping, making a difference. Stop ignoring them.
Yeah.
While we giving credit to the people that really ain't doing it but taking from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we got that shit confused. We support the wrong shit and the shit we should be silent to. It's like, what is that about our people? You know, it's like we just want to be right. We don't care whether it's right. We just want to be right. So if I step out there about something and I stood firm on it, and then I came out to find out that it was wrong, like we're at a place where we don't even want to change our mind because we don't want to be able to say we wrong, even though the evidence showed something totally different now. But since we started out that way, we'll fight to the death. That's when emotions kick in. When you don't have no facts, that's when emotions take over.
Yeah.
So when we be so emotional, all that is a testament to absence of facts. Because we don't have, when you got facts, you don't care how a person feel about it, how they take it.
Right.
You only care about it when you don't have nothing else to work with. So it's like, you gotta believe me. You know what I'm saying?
Believe me!
Yeah, that's all I got, you know. But yeah, man, it's like, this time we gotta buckle down, man. It's like, we really gotta buckle down. We got to clean up our value. We got to clean up our name. We got to stop looking for powers outside of ourselves to make a difference in our reality. You know what I mean? It's like we keep giving all these people credit for making them responsible for our reality. We keep blaming external factors on our reality. You know what I mean? It's like we don't even give ourselves the credit. And then when we do bust our ass and making a great accomplishment, we go and still give that credit to somebody in the sky. Oh, I'm giving that to.
Right.
Why you not gonna give it to yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, them belief systems, man, they another stranglehold on our people. Them belief systems, you know. And now we not Christians to whoever over here.
I was waiting to get them.
Game, whatever y'all
Outlaws Gamer.
Discord or whatever. Most of y'all like probably avatars or whatever. No, we ain't Christians. We ain't religious people. We spiritual people.
No.
We don't deal in religiosity.
Not
No offense to nobody that do.
Right.
But we just on another
That caught your eye.
vibration.
Right.
That caught your eye.
Yeah, it caught my eye.
Oh,
And then I got the KFC chicken thing. Yeah, so let me give you the degree about the chicken since you want to be funny. The degree about the chicken, you are what you eat. Because the DNA in the chicken, whatever meat you consume, become a part of active ingredient and intelligence in your DNA. So when the majority of people consider black people chicken-hearted, we got that chicken syndrome. We'll fight everything that look like us, but we won't fight nothing outside the hen house. And that's how the nature of the chicken is. So white people used to make fun of black people about chicken because of that syndrome. Because we wouldn't fight nothing outside of our culture or our people. That's where the chicken come from, bro. And it's one of the dirtiest animals out there is why you glorifying it. You should be asking yourself where all this chicken come from to feed all these people in all these chicken shops. Because you might not be eating chicken. You know what I mean? And who else? Something about Kool-Aid. Whatever that means. Be more specific so I can answer you correctly, bro. And salute.
No doubt. And for the brother who think we Christians, no, we got knowledge of self. We study everything. It ain't too many materials that's written that we haven't went through it. So if we come across something that has relevance to what we're talking about, we'll use it as a reference, but we're by no means chained to that book. You know what I'm saying? We look at it as a poison book also, but it is some truth in it. But we don't just look at that as a poison book. We look at all religions as having poison or some type of taint to it. And so what we do is we extract from it what fits our condition and we apply that medicine as needed. What you should be asking yourself is what are you doing and how are you contributing to the situation that we are in? And another thing, I think that a lot of times it starts the same idea and the same concept that black people always suffer from. They won't attack no real enemy. They won't have nothing slick to say to nobody, nowhere else in the world. But they always critique what their own people say and try to find a flaw or fault in what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But no, brother, and everybody else, the Kool-Aid man, the chicken man, and the Bible man, all of y'all can contribute something to society by thinking deeply about what you're going to do and what your life purpose is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Finding your life purpose, knowing how to not be a pawn in somebody else's game or be moved along the chessboard of life by a force that you don't even understand or comprehend. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's up.
No doubt. That's what's up. Yeah, man. This was
She fit wear it.
yeah, the shoe fit wear. You know, no offense given, no offense taken.
No doubt.
It's a real station over here. You come with that reel on there, you gonna get blasted.
Oh,
back
you is, no
on,
doubt.
So you already know.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So be careful. Make sure if you're gonna be
Each and every Thursday,
you're gonna be
6
gangster
p.m.
and you're gonna be up here on here making comments. Make sure you got a picture to go with it.
Right.
Don't be no coward about it. You know what I mean?
doubt.
And that's what it is. But we practice peace. We always about peace. You know what I mean? That's what we pushing for our people. We do not advocate violence. But we will defend ourselves if need be.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And that's what we all should be. That our stance should be anyway. But we should be trying to love each other and trying to come together and figure out how we're going to fix this unification that's so much needed within our communities and our
Facts.
people. You know what I mean? You look up everywhere we look. There's another something being taken over by somebody that don't look like us.
That part.
How many lots and stuff we saw that just looked vacant and we saw it vacant for so long. And we never even can come up with a vision of a store or whatever could be sitting right there and tell somebody, put it right there. Now we can see it. It's like we just wait so long to catch on. It's like, yo, we gotta catch up fast, people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we need help. We gotta push each other. Like we gotta stop pushing bad and push good. We pushing the wrong button. You know what I mean? It's like the ladder out there, but we don't want to walk across it.
Yeah.
We'd rather stay in our comfort zone, even though we know it's not feeding us. but long as it's sustaining us. You know, some people comfortable with just floating.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, are you gonna swim? You know, eventually you're gonna sink if you just float. You gotta swim, but some people don't know which direction to swim in, so they gonna just rather stay on the oasis.
Tracy over on YouTube said, you know when you throw a rock at a pack of dogs, well, y'all know the rest.
Yeah, bought one holler. That's right. All right, Tracy, salute. Yeah, but that's what it is. It's real stuff over here, man. We getting real, we being real. We doing real stuff, live stuff. I'm ready to get to these cookies over here. I hope y'all can't see them.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We definitely, man, preoccupied with, you know, staying on our purpose, man, in life and trying to awaken the dead, and definitely focusing on the youth and giving the youth some things to think about. You know what I'm saying? Both of me and the brother, we both got our own separate groups, but we combine now, and we definitely have a vested interest in teaching the youth their life purpose, putting them on the path so they can understand who they are, where they are in this moment in time, and what is needed. Because everybody, all systems that we have relied on is basically breaking down. All of them are basically busting a U-turn and leaving us out there by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so if you don't really have something creative to express or to manifest, then the system that you relied on for your help is going to abandon you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I think that if we take and reflect back in time, like, integration is what fucked us up. You know what I'm saying? We had more independent everything. You know what I'm saying? We had our own theaters. We had our own doctors. We had our own black corner stores. You know what I'm saying? And soon as we thought that we would be better off by integrating with somebody else, that helped us lose our life purpose. It's like, damn, we forgot our purpose was to serve and help and elevate our people. And it's like, damn, we went and tried to be like them. Started trying to talk like them, started going to their integrated schools, and then we lost our creative ability. You know what I'm saying? We stopped producing things because we thought that being affiliated or associated with them was the true greatness. But really, you can't find your true greatness unless you separate and build your own. And I think that a lot of times that's what happens. We lose our self-identity. And that, along with your purpose, go hand in hand.
Maurice 1974 over on Instagram said, separation or death is real. And then we was reading the different things that we had. He added in there Black Wall Street.
No doubt. Yeah. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street.
Yeah, Rosewood,
sidebar.
all that.
Bub said make some pudding. That was a sidebar. He on YouTube. Make some pudding.
Who said that?
Bub.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Don't forget about Seneca Village that sits where Central Park sit today. That black neighborhood was bulldozed and Central Park was built over top of that. So Tulsa, Oklahoma and Rosewood, they weren't the only black neighborhoods that we had. Affluent neighborhoods with hospitals and laundromats and car services and things like that. You know what I mean? It's like our creative gene that got removed out of us. And we became humble servants, man, to our oppressors. And now we are humble servants to our own idiocy and our own ignorance, because we won't learn anything about how our ancestors did it. They left a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta starve yourself, man. Sometimes in order to get rid of a bad habit, you can't feed it. You gotta starve it. That's how it die off and go away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you dependent, practice your independence by trying at least once a month to get off of any kind of system that has you totally dependent on that.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? If you dependent on alcohol, get off that shit. If you can't jump off of it all at once, exercise some discipline. You know what I'm saying? Stop drinking enough where you like, okay, yeah, my blood's starting to get a little purified now. I can, you know what I'm saying? My blood's circulating a little better. You know what I mean? Or any bad habit. Start exercising your creative idea and don't be afraid to fail. Right. If you think, you know how many times I attempted to write a book Before my books came out, I wrote so many damn books, got so many scattered thoughts, until one day I just got organized and focused. And I said, you know what? Let me take my time. And book after book after book came out. You know what I'm saying? And this is how crafty the enemy is. One of my books, it was so controversial that the book company took it out of print. But if you want a copy now, you can get it if you pay $500. They want $500. That Lord Finn book, Dark Side of God's Light. The joint Dark Side of God's Light. Somebody told me, man, they asked me for $500 for that book. I was like, wow. They ain't offered me not a dime off that $5. I'm like, well, what type part of the game is that? But that's what happened when
That's
you
where they saw the knowledge
own
in
your
that.
own, yeah, they
Ain't
start
that something?
commercializing your shit.
And you can tell how deep it is. They're gonna sell it for $500.
Yep.
That's a game. But you know what's crazy is that when that type of stuff happen and we get played by the game, we got so used to the victim mode that we just cry about it and say, man, that's fucked up. Instead of saying, damn, that was smart. Let me
You know what? Part two.
Yeah, damn, let me
Get the
see
right one.
what the fuck they do to do that.
Facts.
Like, it's about perspective. Instead of accepting the fate of, that's fucked up. They ain't do that. I bet you they ain't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're so comfortable with that.
The
answer.
blame
Like,
game.
yeah, like, yo,
Comparing
come on.
our misfortune to
Like,
somebody
somebody's
else.
supposed to sympathize with that shit.
Right.
Nah, man, get up and go get that shit. The information out there.
Damn.
They giving you the game. They doing it right in front of your face.
Yep.
Donald Trump, the biggest gangster that ever was, right live in front of you.
Right, live
You
in
looking at
color.
John Gotti and reading 48 Laws of Power. All the motherfuckers they talk about, manifesting the 48 Laws of Power in the White House.
Right.
Motherfuckers can't even see it because they blinded by their emotions. They too attached to their feelings. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. What I'm quite sure is a lot of motherfuckers don't like shit you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? We always putting people on pedestals, then stone them. Stop putting people on pedestals. They human beings. No matter who you meet, you're gonna find some shit in them you ain't gonna like. No matter who it is. It's like get over it. Why are we looking for perfect people?
That part.
People in relationships act like they looking for Mr. Perfect. Like they gotta be 100% perfect. No, and nobody gonna be perfect. You just gotta make sure that whatever their imperfections is tolerable.
Right.
You gotta be something you can tolerate, whatever that is. But they're gonna have an imperfection. You know what I mean? And if you don't see none, don't create none. You know what I mean? Because we'll create some shit. We don't see some shit, we'll start making up some
Just
shit.
all you gotta do is make it up once and then spread.
Yeah, next
Facts.
thing you know, it's like, come on, we gotta stop doing that too, playing games with our own mind. Time running out.
For real.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on in the world. I don't know how to emphasize that. No more important. It really is. And it's like, if it ain't been a time to come together now, this is the motherfucking time.
Absolutely.
We done jumped on this race train and now we don't know how to get off. Now the whole world looking at us like fucked up people. Because we showing how hateful we really are. We can't even say rest in peace to a motherfucker they don't even know. That gotta take a lot of hate from a person that you can hate somebody that easy off a 30-second snippet from social media, and you ain't even give yourself the benefit of the doubt to look into the person and more stuff.
You just, because that's what matters.
You know
what
what I
social
mean?
media
It's like,
say. That's
whatever
what
they
matters.
say, so they're really controlling you. You're the slave to them. While you're crying slavery, you're the slave to them kind of people. You know what I mean? You serve in the same system you complaining about. You know what I mean? But it's like we're agitating, man. We're agitating the race war, and I hate to see that because that's what we're doing, and we don't even see how much that is. I'm feeling it. I feel the heat when I go past certain white people now. They looking at us different now. Like, you know what I mean? Like we all it's fucked up because it's like, damn, yo, we that cold. I ain't know we was that bad. I done seen some shit in these last 8 months out of our people. I seen some wickedness. We got a lot of wicked people.
Yeah.
And we keep covering it up, justifying it. Well, they the same way. No, deal with your shit. Stop worrying about them. Let them deal with them. We know they cool too. But it ain't. I bet you go to the funeral homes. I bet you they burn more us than any other nationality. I bet they get the most business from black people.
I bet you
While
know
we
that.
want to keep and people that like to compare like, well, they do the same thing. Well, we only 13%. So mathematically, if you look at their percentage, they're over 50% of the population. So if you look at the math, of course, they're going to always be outnumbering us no matter where we go.
Regardless.
So while we crying discrimination, well, they ain't do that because I'm black. It's because it's more of them than it is of us. There's gonna be a sprinkle few of us anyway, but we don't want to do the math. We want to just cry foul.
Yeah, it's easier to
And
cry
the same
foul
people
than
crying foul is the same ones still got their job, still got their benefits, still getting all this shit. They crying somebody else's problem. They crying somebody else's tears.
Then some of y'all
You
so
know what I mean?
motherfucking racist against your own people.
Own people.
They can be black and can help you out in the numbers, but because they're a little light skin on high yellow side, you got some slick self-racist shit to say about them. They ain't black anyway. You know what I'm saying? You be dividing your own self.
Shit, yeah,
You know what I mean? Inflicting the rules that the slave master put on you. You be copying that same behavior, yet you hate them so much, but you imitate everything they do. Man, that sister's she's so motherfucking light, I thought she was white. The whole time, that might be the sister that really helped you in a situation, or the brother.
Yeah.
Because when the Panthers was out, they had the brown, they had the Puerto Rican brothers out in New York. They had the Lords. What was their name? The Lords. They wore the brown berets. The Young Lords. You had a Hispanic group called the Young Lords. When the Black Panthers was putting that work in, you had a group of white men called the Weathermen. That was white boys, but was anti-government and putting a lot of work in and working hand to hand with the Panthers. You had the Young Lords and the Black Panthers that took over Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx in New York and made the hospital start showing love to people in the neighborhoods who couldn't afford them high-ass hospital bills. A lot of times it's because of your own self-racist perspectives and attitudes towards your own people. The reason why you can't get no real fucking unity. You know what I'm saying? They already showing you every day that the Blackfoot Indians, the Navajos, the Sioux Indians, the Arawaks, the Taínos, they showing you every day that most of them were regular black people. But you still so divided amongst yourself because you took that slave master mentality. Oh, they're mulatto. Oh, they are this. Oh, they are that.
All that division.
Right, all that division. And so this is why they can knock you off right in front of your face. And you be like, fuck that nigga. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Until it happened to you.
Yeah.
Then when it happened to you, you want somebody to ride for you, but you the same one that just abandoned your own kind. Then get mad when they stick together with their kind.
Right.
And now you out in the cold by yourself.
Yeah, you mad at them because they riding with their people and you turning your back on your people.
They ain't coming to your aid.
Exactly.
Cross their people for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So where's the Lord? Why we value unloyalty?
Right.
We value a lot of unloyalty.
That's
No
where it
doubt.
falls. It's so unfortunate that we'll have next door neighbors that'll say, you ain't see the news or you ain't see this on social media. At the same time, you've never shared not one person live in this room.
Right. Absolutely.
You will send me somebody else live from their page,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
and you dying laughing in the DM,
Yeah. Right.
and they never shared the timeless nothing. Now tell me at what point am I supposed to block you?
Right. Absolutely. That'd be
Or
the
I don't
fucking-
reshare it, and you like, you don't repost my stuff, because I've never seen you repost anything of mine. Like at some point we gotta come on.
Right.
Even if you don't watch the show, it takes nothing to hit,
Yeah, that's
click,
what I'm saying.
share,
Yeah,
like,
go about your business.
and keep on
Like,
going.
yeah,
You ain't even
like,
gotta listen to it.
That's what I'm saying.
I see somebody that look like me, I'ma share this.
Yeah, like damn, it's like that's what I'm saying. We at that point, like, but we'll do anybody else that don't like it. You know, that's how you got some people. They always at somebody else's event or party, but never at your shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They always telling.
Cause I know, I don't know them. I want to get over
telling you
there.
about their how
Oh, you
nice
should
their
have been
shit
there.
was. No matter who it is, there's always the best thing ever.
Right.
But when it's your shit or somebody that
They slept in late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
So
even
it's
make
like
it.
you gotta watch people like that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's really a spiritual warfare going on. Good versus
Don't be mad because I wear my glasses.
good versus evil going on. You gotta pick a side because a lot of motherfuckers,
Yeah.
boy, they is getting
No
exposed.
doubt.
But what
For
their
real.
frequency really vibrate at.
For real, and that's facts. A lot of
Yeah,
times, man.
Good versus evil.
Before we
be
go,
in-
can you
we
show
be
your
in
book
a
again?
minority because of our thinking, because it's a uniting of the mind. This is how you think, man. You know what I'm saying? You might. It's in the in the early 70s, the Honorable
glare
Elijah
on the
Muhammad
bottom.
did a lot of business with the Japanese.
Hold it up.
And he
so
was
the camera
able
can
to
get the
do
whole
that
thing.
business with the
That's the glare.
Japanese because they looked at each other as brothers of color. They looked at each other as having the same common enemy And now we can't get the damn support from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much self-hatred. They look at how we treat each other and be like, damn, how can I unite with them and help them when
If
won't
they don't even
help
like
their
each
own?
other. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even like their own. You know what I mean? You know, and as I always say, you know what I mean? Time is our ancestors' way of stopping everything from happening at once. You know what I mean? So as we conclude, we're going to always challenge you, man, to raise your consciousness, find your life's purpose. And if that wrinkle your feathers or, you know what I mean, get your little cheap silk suits in a bunch, then so be it. But we definitely going to swing our sword of truth and let the blade lay or fall where it may, man. But at the end of the day, you gotta give us our credit. We definitely gonna bring the noise. We definitely gonna speak on it. And we don't have no cut cards. Like if we see anybody, you know what I'm saying, doing anything or saying anything that's not peace, we gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people think, damn, y'all hard on black people. No, black people hard on themselves.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? And they all need to be called out on that bullshit. Y'all keep letting shit happen, letting us get murdered. Justifying why you ain't moved. You so gangster. But you let a black brother get hung down at a college campus. You so gangster.
Nobody did nothing about it. Ain't rapping about that.
Yeah,
Why you rap about that?
You ain't rapping about it. You ain't nicking. You ain't doing nothing.
Like, come on, man.
You ain't doing nothing about it.
Yeah. But yeah, we gotta wrap it up, y'all. I'm glad to have y'all with us. You know what I mean? We got through it. Once again, my book, Finding Your Why, is a good book. Download it, ebook. Click the link in my bio on Be God to See God 7 on Instagram.
No
That's
doubt.
what it is. You won't go wrong. You will get a lot of information out of this short book. This is a really good book. I suggest it, especially if you got confused about the direction you want to go in your life. There's no age discrimination. That fits all ages. We all struggle with that at times because our journey changes as we evolve. So stay tuned.
No doubt. Keep growing.
YouTube.
Peace. Positive energy always causes
YouTube
elevation.
Insight with the Gods. Tune in. Catch us next week. Next Thursday, we're going to have a special guest, Coach D, a female. She's going to share her perspective. She's doing a lot in the city with the youth. And we definitely want to give her insight, give her some exposure, and give her opportunity to shout out her organization and everything she represents.
No doubt. Shout out to 2-5, my cousin Kiani. Shout out to LT, Lesson Terry. Shout out to Murphy Holmes. Shout out to New York City. Shout out to the Bloodline, man. Shout out to the True and Living, man. It's really, really overstanding that life purpose. Peace to the queens, man. They got their kings back. One.
Indeed. Salute.